Authenticity is easy. Clout is hard. But I kind of think that clout is impossible without authenticity. So I think what happens to a lot of people is because they want clout, they kind of try and mold themselves to fit the clout market, like the clout ecosystem. And in so doing, it's kind of windy, so I'm worried about my camera, but I think it'll be fine. It's withstood the test of time before. But yeah, I've just been thinking about how, like, more recently my videos have been so much more authentic, and I'm still doing skits, I'm still playing characters, but I'm really trying to just make an authentic product. And it doesn't mean that I'm not going to talk about trending topics or anything along those lines, but I've been really enjoying it. And something that I've noticed is recently I've felt pretty burnt out. I've been doing these like long reaction videos, which are really taking a lot out of me. I don't know if you've seen them, but today I just did 2 of those like YouTuber apology skits, which I have a lot of fun doing because I think apology videos are hilarious. I think that they're so funny, just like how contrived, how like every single type of apology video has been done except for like the ones that I'm doing, which are like so obviously fake and over the top and like whatever. But something that I've noticed is like the videos where I'm really being authentic, like those videos, I'm not being myself, but like I'm talking about something it's easy for me to talk about, and like there's not like a hardcore script, there's not like a hardcore thing. They're pretty easy to do, and they actually do pretty well in comparison to some of my other videos, which I was surprised by because I always thought that like YouTube was about effort, and I think it is. Like you need to work really hard to do this. I mean, one thing that I've learned from posting 3 videos a day is just you're capable of working much harder than you think initially, and like if you really want something, you need to go for it hardcore and take consistent and dedicated action and kind of have outcome independence of like some of the videos that I post get like 3 views, but I'm not going to stop the posting because this is about my learning. It's not about getting as many views as possible. But anyway, I've just been thinking about like how if something isn't coming easy for you, whether it's like creative or like business related or just like in your work or whatever, obviously you can still do it and you can kind of grit your teeth and you can like slog through it. But sometimes there's something that you can do with so far as like your habits and your thinking, where instead of like trying to grit your teeth and push through it, you can look at it in a different perspective and like have fun with it. And not only is it easier, the product is also better. So I work like 12 hours a day on these videos. I know like they seem like they're pretty low effort, and sometimes they are. But what's funny about like the work that I do on this is so much of it's mental. So much of it's thinking about like what the type of video is, like how it fits into landscape, like what creatively I want to do. Because I had this video do pretty well when I was gone called "Is It Gay to Want to Smash Megamind?", which I had so much fun making. Like it was so much fun. But I remember like seeing that it did well. I almost wanted to be like, okay, now I'll do "Is it gay to want to smash Shrek? Is it gay to want to smash Lord Farquaad?" or like other like animated characters. And I'm not saying I won't ever do those videos, but I started to do those types of videos and it just wasn't working. And that's an example of like the work that you guys don't see, which is like I recorded an entire video, started editing it, and then I just scrapped it because I wasn't having fun and I wasn't showing up authentic. It was just views based. So kind of circling back to like clout. So, I'm still very much a noob at understanding clout, especially on all the platforms besides YouTube. I think YouTube I'm starting to understand better, but on all the other platforms besides YouTube, it seems to me that what they want is the most engagement and the most retention possible. So, and this applies to YouTube too, but this is something else. So like the most engagement possible is like on TikTok, they want you to watch the TikToks for as long as possible on the app. So if you see one video that's really funny about a steak, TikTok's going to be like, oh, this person likes funny videos about steak. Like, do we have any other videos that are about steak that are funny? Let's throw it at him and see if he can stay on our app longer because we can get more watch time, get more data, sell more data, and make more money as a company. And I think that applies to like Instagram as far as like engagement, like likes, comments, like that sort of thing. Story, like watch time on stories, stuff like that. Snapchat is similar. There's like a bunch of stuff, and as a creator on these platforms, if you get high engagement and high watch time, you get more clout. And YouTube, it just has one extra step, which is there's something that involves like clicking on a video. Like you have to see a thumbnail and click on it, which is like just another step of retention. Like YouTube measures all sorts of data about like when you pause on a video, when you click on a video. And I won't bore you because this is not a podcast about YouTube analytics. If it was, it would get no viewers because I don't know that much about it. But as far as clout goes, the dangerous thing about clout is we're really not built for the attention that clout gives. I think my channel has gotten like 500,000 views since I started it, something along those lines. And in any other time period, 500,000 views, like being looked at by 500,000 people, or even in real life, like if 500,000 people are around you looking at you, I don't know, I guess it would be like in a giant stadium or something. That would basically be impossible. But even for a second, like that type of weight, that like raw attention would overwhelm us. We wouldn't know how to deal with it. And so even though it's measured in numbers and it's metrics and it's advertisement based, and these creators are so massive, getting billions of views, our brains really aren't built for it. So what happens is if you're being authentic, you're doing something that shows up to you creatively, you're just posting something that you like, and then you accidentally stumble into some clout, like you strike a chord, you make a good video, that sort of thing. What happens, and this has happened to me before, is you start to get much more analytical and less authentic in the way that you go about making content. You start to think about like, oh, what did I do in this video to get this amount of views, to get this amount of attention, that sort of thing. And then without even realizing it, you're not being authentic anymore in your video because you're chasing the views. You want to perform at a certain level, that sort of thing, when really your authenticity and your creativity, which, by the way, authenticity and creativity, they don't understand views. Like, those parts of you don't understand views. They just understand what resonates, what's fun, following your kind of inner voice, your inner conscience. So what happens is the thinking part of your brain, your intellect, is very good at analysis. Like, it's very good at recognizing patterns and recognizing trends. It's like the Mr. Beast thing where it's like, oh, if the $1 versus $1 million car did well, then the $1 versus $1 million airplane will do well. That sort of thing. And there's a time and a place for analysis if you want to make this your job. I mean, I'm still working on making this my job. It's not currently. And you need that. Like, don't get me wrong. You need analysis. But the creative side of you, it doesn't do that. And so what happens is, I think the reason why a lot of people get blocked is the analysis is screaming at them all of these things about it needs to hit this, it needs to hit this, it needs to hit this. And then the creative side, which is much more, it's not only emotional, it's also spiritual. Like, if you ever have like a serious conversation with your spiritual side, you'll see how little it cares about getting views. Because it's whole on its own. It's just loving on its own. It's just, and so it's very interesting because it's a constant struggle, but I hope that like you remembering that authenticity is easy, clout is hard, can sort of help you get into the right headspace to like show up however you want to show up. And by the way, like, this advice applies to people who don't do creative stuff as their job. Like, I think we all want to be in our authenticity. Like, how many days of your life have you lived not being yourself? You know what I mean? Like, that sucks. Like, you want to be yourself. Like, there have been so many times where I've been insecure about like how I appear to others, like how I appear to girls, how I appear financially, how I appear like in terms of like social hierarchy. And in so doing, kind of turned away from my authenticity, turned away from like just how I really was. And that day, it's not that it was wasted, But it would have been so much richer, so much sweeter, so much more fun if I had been my authentic self in all of those things. And have you ever noticed, like, if you're trying to pretend to be somebody else, even if you're socially accepted, there's like, it's like not as fun as when you're being completely yourself. So a good example is like, let's say like you pretend to be a certain version of yourself in order to get like somebody you're attracted to like you, right? I'm not saying that like them being attracted to you isn't great. Like them, oh my god, my shake. Okay, I think. Let's see. Okay. Sorry, I was about to like run over and save my camera. I think it's fine. My camera's fine. So I'll just finish this point and then we'll be done. I'm worried about my camera, but even though it's great that they're into you, even though it's great that they're attractive and you get to whatever with them, if you're not being yourself, you're just hiding. Like, you're just pretending. And when they see that mask fall, they feel lied to. And it's because you did lie to them. And not only that, you lied to yourself. You lied to yourself that you being your authentic self, which, by the way, is constantly changing. It's not like this, like, idea that never changes. You're always changing. But you being your ever-changing, beautiful, loved, loving, and lovable self, instead of that, you chose to appear as somebody else. So just always remember, like, it's not worth it. Like, whatever reward, whether it's, like, that example, like a pretty person liking you, or clout, turning away from yourself, turning away from your authenticity, is turning away from what's easy and ultimately what's going to help you and make you feel more spiritually aligned. So, camera didn't fall over. I love you guys. Thanks for watching.